get into the meat and the potatoes of this thing, man. Because you know how we do it here on Let's How Detroit Lions Talk. Because like I told you first, man. Don't at your favorite auntie, man, because she slid through and took my man to play. LL, holla at me about this offense, my guy.
Well, it was a decent offensive game, man. We were able to move the ball. We could run it a little bit, maybe not as effectively as as we would have wanted, but we had a couple of backups on the interior, right and left guard. Dan Skipper and was it? It wasn't Tommy Kramer, was it? Who was on the other side?
It was a young fella.
I think it wasn't.
Yeah, I can't pronounce his name.
Yeah, it was a young fella, man, that came in. He's a Nigerian. I have to be.
Start with an A.
Go ahead.
Wasn't able to move the ball on the ground as effectively, but it was still a game, that we could have won. It boils down to it was a lot to win to the game, but I cut to the part where I want to talk about we were 3 for 3 on 4th down. We had a 3rd and 1. We don't get it. 4th down, I believe we tried to pass to get that third and 1, but you were running it the whole game on 4th down. You got to take that shot, man. This is a game like this where you can win. You play to win that game. If you lose, if we don't get it, we're gonna lose anyway, right? So we got at least we were down anyway. So you got to go. Oh no, we ended up kicking a field goal to tie it up. So we went for the tie instead of going ahead for the win. But my mentality, go for the win. I would have went for it in that instance. But other than that, we got to see. I won't say dominance, but another great game by Amon-Ra St. Brown, the Sun God. 9 catches, I believe. I can't remember the yardage that he had, and another touchdown. Still got to see Swaggy get in there. We weren't able to move the ball on the ground. The fit is not as effectively. Kind of makes you think, well, what would have happened if we would have had some starters in there? It might have been an entirely different game. Mm-hmm. But offensively, we were able to put up 25 points. Could have been able to put up a little bit more. We had a couple of turnovers, a couple of fumbles, rather. Jared Goff didn't throw the ball to the other team. But as Curt liked to say, it wasn't for the lack of trying. But at least we didn't turn over, though. So I'm not going down on for not turning over. So great job for not turning over. But we did have some turnovers. They end up leading us, down the road to, a loss. A lot of, like you said, Curt, we probably had to play a perfect game. We didn't play a perfect game, but it was a game that we still could have won. And I think that's just the biggest disappointment to me. Regardless of whatever the rest of the season holds, we could have won this game against the Buffalo Bills. Everybody got held up so high. And it wouldn't have been even that, at least in my opinion. I know it's much easier for me to say it than for them guys to go out there and do it. But it wasn't even that hard to win. You just get the first down and then, at least try to get 7 on the board. But what do you guys have to think about the offensive side of the ball on Thanksgiving?
All right, man. For the offense, like I said, the running game struggled with those two backups, Dan Skipper, and I got the guy's name. It's Awuzuke. Kode Awuzuke. Yeah. That Ed Oliver was killing us in the interior, man. Ed Oliver was wrecking shop, man. And it was right there at both of those two guys. The passing game kept us they kept us right there at it, whatever you see. Jared Goff in the passing game kept us right there in it the whole game, because we really couldn't do nothing on the ground. There was a Chark in the water, baby. Doo-doo. DJ Chark with the touchdown there down at the goal line. What it is, Sun God, shine bright, baby. 122, 1 touchdown on 9 receptions. Ball security issue for Williams, man. I'm not liking this, man. The guy never fumbled till he got to Detroit. What the hell is that? He coughing the ball up, man. You can't be coughing the ball up, man. I don't like that. I don't like it at all, Russ. Like my man said, on Russ Parr Morning Show back in the day. I don't know if y'all know on the East Coast. Sure. I don't know about that. But as far as the offense overall, I think the offense played well. They had some mistakes. I think that 31 where he threw the ball to Chark, I think they were trying to score a touchdown. They was trying to take a kill shot, didn't work. I think that was the play that you were talking about where you play to win. I think they were trying to win. I think that's why they took that shot on 3rd down. Didn't work. Kicked field goal. To try to stay in the game. we had some bad mistakes, and we'll talk about when we get to the defense side of the ball. But overall, man, I'm not as upset with the offense as I would probably normally be, especially with how we had to play with. We playing like practice squad and like backup to the backup offensive guards. Man, our top 4 offensive guards were out for this game. The top 4 of them were out. Jonah Jackson, Evan Brown, Big V was out, and so was Tommy Kramer. Those are our top 4 offensive guards. Logan Steele didn't even play, and he's active. He's on the active roster. So if you look at that, man, like, and they have their interior. Like, they have a stout defensive line across the board. They were missing some edge rushers, but that interior is just as beastly as their defensive ends. So, you know, you got to take it with a grain of salt, man. You playing all pro against guys that are, you know, practice squad players at best. Dan Skipper, I love him to death, man, but he's a practice squad player, and that's why he's been there for so long. And at the end of the day, that's where his ass should be. So what you got, Coach Jones?
Man, just to piggyback off that, man, I think the biggest thing on offense was the guards. Because, you know, you use the tackles more in the passing game, use the guards more in the running game. And the run game was efficient at times, but it wasn't the run game that we used to seeing. And that's because those backups was in there, man. And, you know, that tells, I know it's an excuse kind of, but that tells the tale of the run game. You know, with that being said, though, I do think that we need to mix it up a little bit more. Like when you see a certain guy is not turning his tires to start off, but then you got to go to the next guy. Like we got a committee of running back. We need to cycle through quicker. And if you get to one guy who has a hot hand, then you milk that cow. You know, and you don't switch it up. You know, I think we switched up running backs. When we took Williams out, we did switch it up a little bit too much. I think we should have stayed with one. Maybe we should have rolled out that Justin Jackson thing because he was, you know, he gets in there. So you know, we should have rolled that, man, and probably not switched up on him. You know, I mean, it's situational. But at the end of the day, I was more happier with the pass game. We did some things in the pass game that was good, and we just 3 points short, man. 3 points short. So it's a tough one, man. It's a tough one to take, man, because this is the second time we did this and against the best team in the league, against the Eagles, we did the same thing.
Yep.
You know, so it's rough against the Vikings. We did the same thing, man. And, you know, Buffalo, same thing, man. It's like, man, it's just, I get better, man.
I hope that fires us up for the rest of this back of the season because they're tired of seeing that stuff. You know what I'm saying? They're tired of seeing that stuff. Hey,
3-point loss with giving up a safety.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, man, to check out the rest of this content, click back to the full version of today's show, Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk, brought to you by Detroit Lions on the Prowl, and see what the full conversation that my man, Coach Mike, and I had to say about the Lions' offensive performance on Thanksgiving.